evening and welcome to Channel Yemaswati News. My name is Kanyisile Mabuza. Before we start with our news, let's take a look at our top stories making headlines this half an hour. The Ingala ceremony still continues as today was the day of the burning of the log. The acting Prime Minister, Senator Yemaswati, as commanded by His Majesty, has urged Yemaswati to cooperate when the COVID-19 vaccine hits our shores. And finally, the National Association of Teachers (NAT) says that they are ready to cooperate with government in the resumption of the 2021 academic year. However, they are concerned by how they do not see any preparations to that regard. And now the news in detail. The Ingwala ceremony still continues as today was the day of the burning of the log at the Bulletin Royal Palace. We have a report.
His Majesty King himself III was joined by masters of regiment in the dancing and the burning of the log at the Bulletin Royal residence today. Regiment showed excitement and energy while singing their songs and the Ingabagangafula. His Majesty then ordered Emabutro to start the weeding of Eslabeni Kingsfield. For Channel Yemaswati News, I'm Linda Shongwe, Bulletin Royal residence.
The acting Prime Minister, Senator Yemaswati, by the command of His Majesty the King, has urged Yemaswati to cooperate with the Ministry of Health as soon as the COVID-19 vaccine hits our borders. This was said at the Cabinet offices during a press conference with the acting Prime Minister today. By the command of His Majesty King Yemaswati III, the acting Prime Minister expressed his concern about the havoc currently being wreaked by COVID-19 on the nation and the world at large. Following the 200 million Malangeni COVID-19 vaccine budget that the acting Prime Minister announced yesterday, His Majesty has further commanded that he emphasizes the following: that when the vaccine arrives, he requests Yemaswati to cooperate with the Ministry of Health so that everyone can be protected. He stated that his government continues to upscale the COVID-19 response so that we do not lose more lives even though the vaccine is not yet available in the country. He also urged that all Yemaswati and residents of ESWATINI should continue to religiously adhere to non-pharmaceutical protocols to prevent the spread of COVID-19.
That his government continues to upscale the COVID-19 response so that we do not lose more lives even though the vaccine is not yet available in the country. And 3, that all Yemaswati and residents of this kingdom should continue to religiously adhere to all non-pharmaceutical protocols to prevent the spread of COVID-19, which are appropriately wearing a mask at all times, regularly washing hands with soap and running water or a hand sanitizer, keeping social distancing, and avoiding unnecessary travel. His Majesty has also commanded me to express his gratitude to health workers and all frontline workers who have dedicated themselves to helping Yemaswati fight the scourge and save lives. Baeti wenwa phakathi.
I'm Kanyisile Mabuza for Channel Yemaswati News with Julissa Mamba. Babane. The Examinations Council of the Kingdom of Eswatini say they anticipate the completion of the marking of the external examination papers by next week Friday. This was said by the Registrar of the Exams Council, Dr. Edmund Mazibugo, who also stated that it's too early to release a release date, or rather to reveal a release date, as they are still marking and they still have to recheck their work. The Exams Council of Eswatini stated that they are anticipating completion of the marking of the external examinations by next week Friday. This was revealed by the Registrar of the Council, Dr. Edmund Mazibugo, who stated that everything is going on swiftly, but he cannot reveal the release dates as yet, as they are also still preparing for it with the Ministry of Education and Training.
We finished the marking of the GCSE examination last year. We finished it before Christmas. The marking went very well. So we're now doing the checking, of the marking and other processes associated with that examination. At the same time, we are now involved in the marking of the grade 7 external examination and the junior certificate examinations. The marking of these two exams started on the 28th of December, and the progress is good. We had a break on New Year's Day and also on the Ingwala Day, 2 days, and marking resumed yesterday, and so we're looking forward to finishing the marking process. There's nothing that has been reported so far in terms of malpractice observed in the marking centers. So we will await the completion of the marking process and we'll take it from there. At the same time, we had some inspectors also who went out to inspect the administration of the examination last year. We were still awaiting reports from those exam inspectors we engaged to give us the report on their observations, on the inspection. We'll have a meeting at the end of the month.
For Channel Yemaswati News, I am Kanyisile Mabuza with Kimberly Mavuso Izulwini. The National Association of Teachers say that they are more than willing to cooperate with His Majesty's government in the reopening of schools. However, they are concerned by the fact that they do not see any preparations with regards to making sure that the school's environments are going to be safe for both teachers and learners should their academic year resume anytime soon. The year 2021 having started, we are expecting His Majesty's government to make and announce a decision with regards to the academic year resumption. Channel Yemaswati reporters today conducted an interview with the SNAP President, Mr. Mbongwa Dlamini, who stated that they are more than ready to support His Majesty's government in whatever decision that they're going to take with regards to the resumption of the academic year. However, he expressed their concerns as an organization, stating that it is very concerning to see that His Majesty's government has not made any steps towards preparing infrastructure for a safe school environment.
Actually, we are sharing the same opinion as government in terms of the opening of schools this year. But unfortunately, where we differ, it is in terms of the preparations. If government is not prepared enough in terms of the infrastructure to mitigate the spread of the virus, therefore we are not going to be able to allow our members to risk their lives, and also we cannot allow to risk the children's life by going to school under the present circumstances.
Assist the peoples.
Yeah, government should be more committed in terms of preparing, thorough preparation. We need extra classes. They can be temporary classes to accommodate the social distancing, and also we need special transport for the pupils, so that they cannot mingle with the members of the public, and they have to use a safe mode of transport to and from the school, and as well as the teachers.
Okay. I'm Kanyisile Mabuza with Kimberly Mavuso for Channel Yemaswati News in Mantini.
Bulletin informs its business associates and the general public that its Lozita offices will close for business on Friday the 18th of December 2020 and reopen on Tuesday the 5th of January 2021. During this period, the organization's offices at Bulletin rural residents will remain open. The main committee, management and staff wish the nation a peaceful, joyous and safe Christmas, Inkwala and a prosperous New Year. Bulletin wishes to remind the nation that Eswatini is still in a deadly COVID-19 pandemic situation. Please be safe and keep your loved ones and those around you safe by adhering to the health protocols of washing your hands consistently, sanitizing, always wearing a mask and practicing social distancing. Lidlela Ndongeni ENPF lathi sasive nalabo labathinzeka ukuthi sitobe sivalile ku onke emahhovisi ethu nalawo la ngaphandle. Sitobe sivalela emaholiday Christmas sivala mhla ka 20/12/2020 sivule mhla ka 7/01/2021. Sive siyatiswa ukuthi ticela liphuthumako temali yemngcwabo titawemukelwa ehhovisi lelikhulu lakaManzini. Litavulwa kuze kube 12 emini mhla ka 27 na 31 December 2020 phinde futhi livulwe mhla ka 3 January 2021. Lehhovisi letekulungisa etindlini litawuchubeka lisebente ticelo netimo letiphuthumako. Kuthula, kuthokoda, lithemba kube kini ngalama holiday Christmas nangemnyaka lomusha lotako. Inombolo lephuthumako ya property foreman ithi 7602-8508.
Meet Slang. He works on Mondays to Fridays and he spends most of his weekends socializing with friends. He looks and feels healthy. He doesn't know, though, that he has the coronavirus. The past weekend, he visited his friends and spent considerable time catching up. Boy, did they not have a good time and did this. Without knowing, Sihlangu has spread the virus to his friends, and they too will spread it to other people. One of Sihlangu's friends lives with his mother, who is diabetic. She is at high risk of serious illness and she has underlying conditions. What should they have done to prevent COVID-19? Sihlangu and his friends must avoid physical and social gatherings. Through their chat groups, they can still discuss and catch up on their favorite topics. When meeting one of his friends, both must wear a mask correctly all the time. Observe physical distance of more than 1 meter when with people. Wash hands with soap and running water or use sanitizer. Let us prevent an increase in COVID-19 cases.
Welcome back and thank you very much for staying with us. I'd also like to take this opportunity to welcome all of our viewers who have just tuned into channel Yemaswati News. And now we continue with the news. Mandla Metula, who is the chairperson of the Visually Impaired Society in the Kingdom of Eswatini, has notified the world, or rather the country, that Eswatini today was together with the world in commemorating the World Braille Day. Metula says that Braille is very important and it is imperative for people to support the support visually impaired people acquire Braille and also utilize Braille language in more services so that they can also understand what they are doing. Today being the 4th of January, the Kingdom of Eswatini joined the entire world in commemorating World Braille Day. We conducted an interview with Mr. Mandla Metula, who is the chairperson of the Association of the Visually Impaired, who told Channel Yemaswati that it is very important that the Braille language be taken seriously because it's the only way to make their lives easier as visually impaired people.
We are so much grateful that the world over commemorates World Braille Day on this date, 4th of January, annually. And this is a reminder to every nation, to every country, that there are persons with visual impairment all over the world. And for them to acquire knowledge, to acquire information that they need, and for them to send messages which are necessary for people to understand and know about persons with visual impairment, they use Braille format. And as a country, we are saying we are in concurrence with the theme of United Nations, that Braille an essential means of communication to persons with visual impairment. And as a country, we are saying, could they please take note of that all documents that are in the country, every information that is conveyed to the nation, they also look into it that there is Braille format in order to cover the persons with visual impairment in information. They also need information. They also need to send information. They also require to gain knowledge in terms of learning or whatever way. But their only way or important way of learning and getting that information is using Braille format. So we are encouraging the country that we should look into it, that everything that is being done in the country, being shared, Braille format is there in order not to leave behind persons.
However, he did say that they do appreciate the efforts that are being made by His Majesty's government in ensuring that they also lead comfortable lives. I'm Kanyisile Mabuza with Kimberly Mavuso for Channel Yemaswati News in Manzini. There was a family feud today at Boyani during a memorial service of a Mazia man who used to work for the Transport Association over his burial, because the family was divided into two, while some of them believed that he should be buried inside the home where he used to live. His mother believed otherwise. We have a report. The family of a late Patrick Mazia, who passed away while being treated for COVID-19, is up in arms and divided over his burial, and as his children want him to be laid to rest in the family compound, which they claim is his homestead, and it was his wish to be laid there. While his
His mother, Regina, stated that her firstborn son cannot be buried at the homestead as he does not belong there since he arrived with her when she got married. It belongs to her late husband, who is a Masilela, who was also laid outside of the premises. Gogo Regina reported the matter to SISWATI police station, where she said she would like to see his son laid to rest outside of the premises where his grave was already being prepared by members of the family.
Indzaba mntwanami isuka ekutheni kungcwatshwa umntwana wakamaziya ungcwatshelwa ekhaya lakaMasilela ene bamngcwaba ngekhathi ebaleni lakaMasilela kube Masilela akangcwatshwanga lamntini wakhe wangcwatshwa ngaphandle kwelikhaya umntwana wangicosha lakhaya ulwa nami uthi lelikhaya ngelakhe ngoba indvodza yami seyaba ngingumfelokade mina indvodza yami yava wathi asihambe siyoshintsha lelikhaya silibide ngokuthi lakaMaziya ngathi mina cha ke phela ngeke sishintshe likhaya angiyalanga le ndvodza yafa likhaya lakaMasilela wena awumthengwanga lakaMasilela wangilandzela ngakho ke ngingeke ngishintshe likhaya lami bese sengilibida ngakaMaziya nyalo-ke lokwendekile kuthite nyalo ngaDisemba umntwana soyagula soyafa mina ngimathi nokuthi uyagula abangitsheli sengiva nje ukuthi umntwana sowufile bathi uyadinisa umntwana akho ufile ngishayelwa ngumntwana akhe lo ngumfana umntwana nami lo ngibani qisha licingo uma ngimshayela yemfana bothini bengutshela ukuthi umntwana akho ufile ufele esibhedlela okay aphenza aqisha licingo mangaleke ukuthi umntwana nami lo ufile ungibani ufele kuphi bese ngishayela umntwana lo ndodzana lamdala entombazaneni lamxosha naye lakhaya njengoba baxosha mina labantwana vele labangesibo labatwala nguye abebaxosha namhla xosha mina washo wathi ngeke ngihlale nawe ngani ngoba ngixosha bami labatelwe ngimi kanganani wena ngikwathi nothi utalwa ngibani okay bese sengishayela ngiyamtshela ngithi uma ngishayela athi thula ngiyeda lapho afika tsotshela ngibani ngimtshela bese uyasho ukuthi uyise soshonileke lokhu ngimangalisako ke mntwana nami lokhu ngivisa kuhlungu kakhulu umphakathi ubanikile emathuna la kungcwatshwa khona wonke umuntu lo makoti akafuni kuyongcwaba lo mfana le emathuneni umngcwaba la ngekhathi ejaldini ensimini ngani ngoba ufuna ukuthi kutothwa lelikhaya ngelakhe kuthiwa kuthiwa lo mfana ungcwatshwela ngekhathi ngoba anguye umnumzane walakhaya akasiye umnumzane walakhaya ngibabe Masilela lo ngcwatshwe ngaphandle kweligate enhla kwasekhaya umphakathi ke ubanikile indzawo nyalo nje sila emaphoyiseni silungisa indzaba yokuthi kuhanjwe kuyovalwa lela thuna leli bahambe baye lapha kumele bayongcwaba khona mntwana nami ngiphetheke ngiyahlukumezeka kakhulu nginetijubo nathi ngakhombisa nyabutifuni sasemphakathini sakandaba zabantu solo tishonto yinye kuthi maziyaphuma emntini waMasilela sokukhulisile Masilela ukufundisile uhambe yokwakha likhaya lakhe akafuni kwenda lokulungile uzuyafa ufela kuloko kuleyo ngane yakhe nyalo-ke sengivukelwe ngilabantwana bayangethuka bangibita ngayo yonke indlela.
Our reporters then proceeded to the disputed place where the preparations were at an advanced stage for the funeral. Few clips were captured for those who were able to provide moral support to the family, and also the grave was being prepared for his funeral. Police arrived at the place and tried to negotiate with members of the family, but it was cut short as they asked for a legal document that allows them to stop the funeral, which they failed to produce. Our reporters then tried to get an interview from the police, but they failed, as they also told the reporters to go away and said that they cannot give them any interviews. Sergeant Lamini from SISWATI police station is the one who failed to give out the interview to the reporter. The community headman also confirmed the knowledge of the matter and stated that they have pulled that Mazia should be buried outside the family compound where the whole community actually lays their loved ones to rest. I'm Kanyesile Mabuza, and a report compiled by Kimberly Mavuso Boyane.
Channel Yemaswati reporters were then notified not too long ago that the burial took place tonight and he was buried inside the compound. And now we have come to the inevitable news of our news bulletin, but before signing out, let's take a look at our top stories making headlines once again. The Ingala ceremony has reached the stage of the burning of the log. The acting Prime Minister and by command of His Majesty has urged Yemaswati to cooperate with the Ministry of Health as soon as the COVID-19 vaccine hits the land. And finally, the National Association of Teachers say they are ready to cooperate with government in the reopening of schools, but they are worried by the fact that they do not see any preparations towards that. Thank you very much for staying with us. I'd like to wish you a very good night and make it bless you.